Since we're talking about art and creativity this week, I would just like to point out that I still have Chara's painting on my wall. Now, I wasn't trying to impugn the, validity of your stapler or anything, but what I was talking about is this. You can probably see it better if I take the staples out. Sorry about the autofocus. It, like, pulls the thing back, like this little springy thing. Apparently your stapler doesn't have that. You just open it up, and then you drop the staples in, and then you close it. I'd also like to note that I have a vintage red swingline stapler. Excuse me, that's my stapler. Also, I started looking for staplers, and apparently I have at least 4 staplers in this house. I don't know why. But they all have the spring. So I don't know if that's just like a manufacturing difference. Like, for some reason they don't put the spring in staplers in Poland. I don't know. Also, I don't blame you for giving up on Nano. I've given up on Nano twice myself, halfway through the month, because it just was too much. I had too much stuff going on and couldn't make it. No judgment here. I hope we all do it again next year though, because that would be fun. I specifically wanted to talk about what Celine and Zoe had to say about creativity. I thought both of you made really interesting points. Celine, you talked about annoying people. When I started really thinking about it, I realized that most of the people I knew who were really annoying about their art were people who would be really annoying about whatever it was they were doing, regardless of whether they were creative people or not. The thing that was annoying about them was not their creative expression, but something else about them. Like Zoe said, it was attention-seeking behavior rather than anything specifically to do with their art or their creativity or their creative process or whatever. Zoe, like, I am so impressed by your prolificity? I don't know if that's a word. You're very prolific in your creative endeavors. Just the fact that you attempt all that stuff, it kind of blows my mind a little bit. I don't know where you get the energy. The only thing I really have specifically to bring to the table today, because it's almost 7 in the morning and I haven't been to bed yet, is Amanda Palmer recently released a song called Ukulele Anthem, which is really basically about ukuleles and how awesome and magical they are, and how if everybody in the world played the ukulele, the world would be a better place, which is probably true. In a broader sense, it's about art and creativity, and there's a line in it that I really like, which is, "Stop pretending art is hard," which sounds kind of weird and counterintuitive because we think of art being something that necessitates a lot of skill. You have to, work really hard to be good at it. But the point that she's trying to make, I think, is that art does not necessarily have to be good to be valid or to have worth. And that sometimes we let our fear of failure in that area stop us from actually making stuff, which is something that I do all the time. When I was taking music theory, we wrote a lot, we composed all the time. That's how we were tested on things. We wrote several compositions a week. They were short compositions, they were just to like test to make sure that we knew how to do a particular thing or use a particular technique or whatever. But I remember the very first time that our professor assigned us a composition, we all just stared at him like he was insane. Now, almost everybody in the class had extensive musical training prior to music theory, but when he told us we had to compose something, we all kind of shut down, and it wasn't even anything hard. Our first assignment, all we had to do was compose like 4-bar melody. I think we had to compose 2 4-bar melodies. We didn't even have to have chord structure or anything. We just wanted a melody, and we all felt like we didn't know how to do that, which is ridiculous. I mean, anytime you hum a tune or, whistle something as you're washing the dishes or whatever, like, you're composing. It's not difficult, but we all flipped out because it was like this big scary thing, He said, compose something. Compose a melody. It was terrifying. Sometimes we lack creativity because we are afraid we're not doing it right or something. I don't know. It's 7 in the morning. I'm kind of tired. See, I always think it's a great idea to make these videos when I can't sleep and I'm like awake in the middle of the night, and then I make them and I'm like, none of that really was very coherent, and I really don't know why I'm inflicting this on people. This didn't really turn out the way I had planned. I don't think I ended up talking about anything I planned to talk about. Plus I was going to respond to some more videos, but I don't have time, so yeah. It was kind of fun to have a theme week though, so, you know, that was a good idea. It's nice to have a theme once in a while.